It is a beautiful fall day in the Music City as we move closer to kickoff between the Bills and Titans. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. Back in Nashville, and one of the biggest problems for Rex Ryan's Bills this year has been the penalties. They lead the league with 47. So this week, Rex has been trying everything, including wristbands that say, "Yes, sir." It's the only thing Rex wants his players to say to the referee after a penalty. Every player received a wristband. Charles Clay told us last night it's just a reminder to move on after the whistle. We'll see if it pays off today for the Bills. Maybe Vern Lundquist should get some royalties for that wristband with the old "yes, sir."
Well, I know for my part, it would never have worked with me.
Buffalo won the toss, and they have deferred. So Tennessee will start with the football, and this is one of the newest Bills, Billy Cundiff, to kick it away. To start the day, Cundiff will handle kickoffs, and Dan Carpenter will do field goals, and Andrews struggles with it. Ball is loose inside the 5, and it's Buffalo football. What a horrendous start for Tennessee. It'll be 1st and goal for the Bills.
And there is a flag.
It was Bishop Sankey on the return. He couldn't handle the kickoff.
There seems to be the Tennessee
Ruling
Titans
on the field. The ball was muffed in the field of play, recovered by Buffalo. Offside, number 81, the kicking team.
Wow.
5-yard penalty for re-kick.
Marcus Easley called for being offsides.
Well, it's been an enormous point of emphasis. Watch right as the foot meets the ball. Is anybody on the ground over? Right there, you see it. That's the right here. And his foot is on the ground as the ball is in the air, or it wasn't on the ground, but that is a penalty. And how do you come in after getting all those penalties last week, having the media, your coaching staff, and each other on the roster to get the penalties under control? You get an enormously fortunate bounce to begin the game, and you're already suffering from a penalty. It's almost inexcusable.
It is inexcusable, and it covered for an inexcusable mistake by Bishop Sankey, who I'm surprised Ken Wisenhunt's leaving him back there. He looked very casual trying to catch that football, and it almost paid a massive price for it. Terrible penalty by the Buffalo Bills to start this game.
And Marcus Easley over the years, one of their better special teams players. So a rare mistake on special teams from Easley. It proves costly as he broke that plane before Cundiff kicked it away. And a second chance now for Bishop Sankey and the Titans.
Yeah, there's no question they'll get a return out of this, kicking it from the 30. This ball's going to land at about the goal line. And they're going to have to cover 2 kicks in a row, and we'll see if they can get it done.
Here comes Sankey again. At the 20 and up to the 23-yard line. So a huge break for the Titans, and Marcus Mariota will come out for the first drive of the game. Mariota, 8 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions through the first 3 games of the season.
And he's played at such a high level. Now, he has not been challenged, I believe, from a defensive standpoint like Rex Ryan will attempt to challenge him today. Rex Ryan made the comment to us that he does not think that Marcus Mariota has seen anything like what he's going to see this week, and it's going to be hard for him to get comfortable out there.
Sankey, who muffed that kickoff and then returned the second one, is next to Mariota. And he looks his way on first down. Sankey to the 30, and Bishop Sankey has a Tennessee first down. A gain of 12 as we take a look at the Tennessee starting offense, and Chance Warmack not able to go today because of a knee injury, so Jamon Meredith will make his 2nd straight start at right guard, and Delaney Walker, one of 5 tight ends on the roster, 4 who are active today for Tennessee. Hand off to Sankey, up the middle, has some room across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line. A gain of 7 as we check out the Buffalo defense. Jerry Hughes fined $31,000 because of penalties last week against the Giants. Preston Brown leads the team in tackles with 35, and such a great sight to see Aaron Williams back on the field after that scary neck injury in week 2.
Yeah, the safeties are going to be enormously important in the defense today as they try and confuse and try and break on the balls of Marcus Mariota as he throws it into the secondary.
Back to Sankey on second down, and this time Sankey is wrapped up. Corey Graham finished him off. It'll be 3rd down and short for Tennessee.
Well, the key for Tennessee, even still that play not being a positive play for them, they're keeping their young quarterback by making yards on 1st down and 2nd down. They're keeping them in a short yardage situation here on 3rd down. Marcus Mariota, Ken Whisenhunt, they do not want to be facing this Buffalo defense in 2nd and 3rd and long.
Bills are 9th in the league defensively in stopping 3rd downs. This is a 3rd and 4 for the Titans. Mariota, quick pass to Andrews. He's got the 1st down. Inside Bills territory and shoved out of bounds. Ron Brooks made the tackle, but a gain of 15 for Tennessee.
Yeah, they catch the safeties right here. He's got to come all the way across the formation to pick him up on the pass play, and that's just hard to do as he sees him release. That's a long way to travel on a quick release pass. They're going to have to adjust to that if they're going to stop that kind of play.
McCluster goes in motion. They pitch it to Kendall Wright, and Wright is met immediately by Aaron Williams.
Well, you're going to see a little creativity here to try and soften up this Buffalo defense. Dexter McCluster flashes across the backfield. They did get a little bit of pursuit from the Buffalo defense, but fortunately for them, on the front side where the play was going, there was good discipline, able to make a play for only a 1-yard gain.
2nd carry of the season for Wright, the 4th-year wide receiver. Only got 1 on the play, 2nd down and 9. Just underway here in Nashville. It's McCluster to the 40. Again, this 3-headed monster for Tennessee in the backfield. Sankey, McCluster, and Andrews all splitting carries. Terrence West, the 4th running back, is inactive for the 2nd consecutive game.
Now, Marcus Mariota has not run the ball much yet this year. 5 carries only on the season. Rex Ryan believes they're going to see more of that today. That was actually a read option that last play where Marcus Mariota could have kept the ball, so we'll see if that continues.
3rd down and 5. And some movement. It looked like McCluster.
False start, number 22, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Yeah,
That does go against McCluster.
Yeah, now it's legal for a back to go in motion, but it's not legal to simulate a snap, and that's what this was. There's no question. He thought the play was going, and that is more than just motion. That is simulating the snap. He thought the ball was going to be in play.
3rd and 5 turns into 3rd and 10. Mariota chased out. He's going to keep this one to the 40. Dives for the 1st down marker. He was chased by Kyle Williams, and we'll have to see where they spot this one. It appears to be just short.
Yeah, he's going to be about 2 yards short.
Yeah, probably about 2 yards short, so Ken Whisenhunt has a decision to make here. 4th and 2.
Yeah, I think it's the right one. You're doing well on the opening, and he's gonna go ahead and punt this down deep into Buffalo territory. It's, I don't know. I agree with it or not. I think it is a coin flip. I think he should. Their offense was playing extremely well. I think he might go for it right there early in the game.
It would have been a 54-yard field goal. Instead, Brett Kern, who grew up a Bills fan in Grand Island, New York, a suburb of Buffalo, punts it to the 11-yard line. Denarius Moore, another new Bill with a fair catch. Tyrod Taylor coming out. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Wake up and watch with the world for the first time ever. The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo. Bills Jaguars from London. Sunday morning, October 25th at 9:30 Eastern. Learn more at yahoo.com/NFL stream. On first down, Tyrod Taylor's pass is low and incomplete, intended for Charles Clay. Taylor, the fifth-year man out of Virginia Tech, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. Had a real slow first half against the Giants last week. Picked it up a bit in the second half. Boom Herring with the first carry of the game for Buffalo. So Boobie Dixon announced as the starter, but the first carry goes to the new guy, Daniel Herron. A look at the starting offensive line for the Bills. John Miller missed the last game with a groin injury, back in there at right guard. And Percy Harvin with Sammy Watkins out. Should get a few more looks this week.
Well, Harvin, one of 2 players in NFL history with 4 50-yard touchdown catches and 300-yard kickoff returns for a touchdown. The Bills may need that big playability today.
Third down and 4. Taylor looking right, throws right, incomplete. He was looking for Percy Harvin, but instead it's a 3-and-out for the Bills.
Good to see for the Tennessee Titans. Jason McCourty back making his first start of the season. Good tight coverage on this play. And Buffalo, you mentioned it, slow start last week against the Giants. They had 5 3-and-outs in the first half last week. They have got to figure this out. You got to keep your defense off the field early in the game, or they get worn down as the game progresses.
16th 3-and-out this season for the Bills. Only Philadelphia has gone 3-and-out more. Colton Schmidt out to punt. And McCluster drifting to his left, calls for a fair catch at the 35-yard line. A punt of 49 yards for Colton Schmidt. We're scoreless in the first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. And by the all-new 2015 Acura TLX. It's that kind of thrill.
Right, because they were coming off of their show.
Back in Nashville, 9:47 to go first quarter. No score between the Bills and Titans. Aaron Williams not out there for the Bills right now. Duke Williams has taken his place at safety. We'll keep an eye on that with McCluster starting on the ground and Preston Brown the first one to meet him.
Now it's going to be interesting to see how Ken Wisenhunt decides to play this chess game. They're going no huddle with Marcus Mariota. Has a lot of experience in college. We haven't seen much of it this year yet, but a little change up from Ken Wisenhunt.
Only 11 plays out of the no huddle for Tennessee in the first 3 games, but they use it here. McCluster, not much to it. Yeah, it'll be third down and long.
Yeah, one of the things about that is the Bills have self-professed that they've had some communication issues defensively coming out of the last couple of games, and going no huddle against them forces that to be used a lot. They've got to communicate as a defense.
And the other thing, they're keeping their big personnel on the field. That keeps Buffalo from getting into their exotic personnel.
On 3rd and 9, Mariota throws it over the middle, a lot of contact, and there's the flag. Kendall Wright got tangled up with Corey Graham.
I don't know, what do you think, Steve, when we look at this? Was it incidental or was it actually a...
Well, pass interference, number 20.
I think he went through him.
First down, spot of the foul.
There was a lot of contact. Both players were going down. When the ball was about halfway there, both players were tumbling to the ground. It had no shot at being completed. Right up here is Graham. He's going to take the slot receiver coming out right at the top of the route. Well, it looked like he just had tripped over his ankle. I mean, it looked like the receiver just went down of his own.
Walt Anderson is today's referee. So a first down for the Titans. Mariota on play action. Rolls, throws across the middle, incomplete. Broken up by Stephon Gilmore. Pass was intended for Harry Douglas. We've been told that Aaron Williams is being examined on the Bills sideline because of a neck injury. Now, of course, that's the reason he missed the last 2 games. The very scary incident against the Patriots in week 2. And there is Aaron Williams. And Duke Williams has taken his spot.
I watched practice on Thursday for the Buffalo Bills, and Williams went down actually once in practice with an incidental collision as well.
2nd and 10, play action again. Mariota to the tight end Stevens, and he's tackled right away by Duke Williams, who's playing for Aaron Williams. This was the scene back week 2 in Buffalo against the Patriots as Williams collided with Julian Edelman, and a very scary neck injury. Williams said he could not feel the left side of his body for quite some time. He was down for 15 minutes, left on a stretcher. Had a lot of tests done, obviously, and thankfully he was able to get back out there to start today's game, but right now on the Buffalo sideline.
You see all the people up at the line of scrimmage. This is what Ken Whisenhunt did not want to see. A lot of these 3rd and long situations. Imperative for Marcus Mariota to make good decisions.
3rd and long, and the pass is broken up. Again, Stephon Gilmore getting a hand on it, and Tennessee will be forced to punt for the 2nd time.
As we've noticed, Mariota is really getting rid of the football fast. It's been a theme for the teams who have had success, and you'll see there, nobody can get there that fast. Even if you come untouched, it's almost impossible to get there, and the defensive backs for the Bills are starting to get a feel for when they can break and squat on routes and not believe that they can go deep. So the Bills defensive backs are starting to adjust to the quick releases they're seeing from all these quarterbacks.
Kern's first punt went only 25 yards. Moore from the 10, and he is stuffed at the 10. Cody Sensabaugh on special teams getting down in a hurry, and Buffalo will be backed up to start this drive. Sensabaugh the stop, and we're back to Nashville in a moment. Your weekend starts here when the Falcons throw down with the Saints on Thursday Night Football. It's on CBS and NFL Network. 2nd drive for the Bills, 2nd time they start from the 11-yard line. Boom Herron, the running back, as Percy Harvin goes in motion. It's a handoff to Herron, trying the right side, and a couple of yard pickup on the play for the 3rd-year man out of Ohio State. As we take a look at that Tennessee starting defense, Jarrell Casey, such an impressive talent, just his 5th year in the league. Wesley Woodyard starts at inside linebacker today ahead of Zach Brown, although you'll see those two split reps. And Jason McCourty, as we mentioned earlier, with his season debut, he had groin surgery in late August and missed the first 3 games.
And he brings a stability at the corner position that Ken Whisenhunt really appreciates.
Taylor with time, looking for the tight end play, and he's got it for a Buffalo first down. Oh, now they're saying that he was out of bounds. Both teams had moved up to where Clay caught the ball, and now they're both going back.
And we'll get a look at it right here.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You have to think that right foot.
The right foot was off the ground when he caught the ball.
Right foot was off the ground when the ball came in.
Yep.
And he didn't drag it. That was a 1 foot down.
So Tyrod Taylor has now started 0 for 3, and Buffalo again faced with 3rd down. It's 3rd and 9.
And Tennessee, the 2nd-ranked defense against 3rd down in the NFL this year, just over 30% allowing conversions.
Only Denver has been better. Flag comes in. Play clock was at 0.
They have game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, and this is what you don't want on the road. When you get in, you're losing the field position battle as the Tennessee Titans have punted the Buffalo Bills down inside their 15-yard line twice already and gotten a 3 and out on the first drive, and now you put yourself backed up in the 3rd and long, and you get 3rd and longer with a penalty.
Already the 3rd penalty against the Bills here in the first quarter. And it turns into 3rd and 14. Taylor from his own end zone fires, and it's nearly intercepted. Parrish Cox was all alone, and if he caught that, he could have walked into the end zone.
Oh, that was
Percy Harvin turned in, and Tyrod Taylor thought he was going to do something else. You'll see this. Harvin's going to run the deep end route, and Taylor throws it outside. Almost looks like he was throwing it to the defender.
Well, that's the Dick LeBeau factor, I believe, with this defense. Ray Horton, a very good defensive coordinator, but Dick LeBeau right there, brought over by Ken Whisenhunt. His impact on this defense, they are better in almost every single category defensively. I think you can attribute that to his experience and his energy on this defense.
second punt for Schmidt. McCluster eludes one, spins his way to the 47. There was a flag down. Well, last week, Tyrod Taylor in the first half against the Giants, 6 of 13 for just 36 yards, and Taylor has started today 0 for 4.
And a shaky 0 for 4.
During the return, illegal block at the back, number 28 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Be first down, timeout.
Penalty on Marquestin Huff. Mariota back out for his third series when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by AARP. Real possibilities.
Back in Nashville, and a good sign for the Bills as Aaron Williams is back out there defensively. He was examined earlier because of that neck injury. So Williams and the Bills scoreless with Tennessee. 6:48 to go, first quarter. It's first down and 10 for the Titans as Kendall Wright goes in motion. McCluster on the carry, left side, trying to get to the 40. He does. And he's tackled there by Preston Brown. Well, so far, third series here for the Titans. A little bit of pressure on Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, and generally they've been getting the ball out pretty quickly, but right there, that was the first play of the game, coming out hitting the flat, and that's going to be the plan most of the day. But we saw no hesitation from Marcus Mariota when he did feel pressure to tuck it and run. Right here, moving a little bit out of the pocket. I think he's very aware of the pressure that this defensive front can bring.
Mariota has started 3 for 5 on second down. Titans go back to the ground with Antonio Andrews, and it will be third down for Tennessee.
Well, Mario Williams taking on the block, moving inside, just making the tackle for almost no gain on that play. And when you're going to single block Mario Williams and then run the football at him, that's what he's best at. I mean, the guy's a good pass rusher, but he is an all-around great defensive end.
And this Buffalo team giving up only 78 yards a game rushing, third best in the NFL. It's hard to run right at him.
Tennessee's 1 for 3 on third downs in this opening quarter. It's third down and 5. Mariota to Douglas, sliding catch, and he's got the first down. 1 yard beyond the chains, and a fresh set of downs for the Titans.
Really a nice catch by Harry Douglas. It was not a good ball from Marcus Mariota. He put the ball behind him, but a good job of adjusting to the football for the first down by Harry Douglas.
Mario Williams taking the up the field. And one of the things that sooner or later he probably will do an up and under, but sometimes the path is dictated by the defense, and they don't want Mario Williams to lose contain on Mariota. So he'll take that outside rush a lot.
First and 10. Mariota looking deep for Kendall Wright, comes back and can't make the play. Stephon Gilmore closed quickly and helped break it up.
Now, this is totally on Marcus Mariota. You're going to see Kendall Wright at the top of your screen right here. He just goes down the sideline, and he gets behind the defensive back Gilmore. This ball is thrown tentatively by Marcus Mariota. No pressure. He's 5 yards behind him. That should be a touchdown for Kendall Wright.
That's the kind of route these teams are going to run as they start to get rid of the football quickly at the quarterback spot. Teams will do that stomp move to think they're going to throw it quick again and then go deep.
That's been a big problem for Mariota this year. On balls thrown 20 yards or more down the field, he's just 2 of 13 after that incompletion. So that's certainly been one of his weaknesses so far this season.
And that's an area that as much as anything, because I know Marcus Mariota can make those throws. He's got the athletic ability, he's got the release, he's got the arm strength. It's a matter of just trusting it and letting the ball go. Right there, he was very tentative throwing that football.
McCluster is the running back on third down and 8 for Tennessee. Four on the play clock. Mariota takes the snap. Has all day. Now in trouble. Steps up, going to keep it himself. Mariota has a first down. A gain of 11 for Marcus Mariota.
Well, this is what everybody fears with a running quarterback. And Mariota, even at this early stage of his career, has done a wonderful job of picking the right spot to do it. You see him step right up through the contain of the pass rush and just picks his spot. And we asked him, he said, yeah, you got to get out of bounds or get down. You don't want any contact with linebackers and safeties. That is a great play by a young quarterback.
Mariota only had 5 carries in the first 3 games combined. That was his second of the first quarter today. And a nice pass on the outside to Wright, who slips a tackle. Kendall Wright inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 16.
You saw Kendall Wright's ability to run after the catch. He's number 2 in the NFL, averaging over 8 yards per catch with yards after the catch. Right there, a great move after he gets a nice pass from Marcus Mariota. He steps back inside and takes it, picks up another 7 or 8 yards before going down.
Cuts back past the diving Aaron Williams, and it's 1st and 10 with 2:40 to go in the opening quarter. Antonio Andrews, and a flag comes in from behind the play as Andrews crossed the 20-yard line. This is going to be a hold against the Titans.
Holding number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Back to New York, our first NFL Today update of the day with JB and Boomer Esiason.
A rarity for Aaron Rodgers.
Right, you don't see this very often, guys. This is an interception by Aaron Rodgers, his first since Week 13 back in 2012. That's James Laurinaitis. That's the first interception that he has had at home since 587 attempts. Pretty good, but Nick Foles just returned the ball over. Interception by the Packers.
Andrew, Steve.
Okay, guys, thank you. 2:10 to go, first quarter here. We are scoreless. It's 1st and 20. Mariota to Hunter. Justin Hunter inside the 20-yard line. They get that penalty yardage back and more. A gain of 14.
This is the kind of stuff that excites me about Marcus Mariota. You're going to see the quick route by Justin Hunter on the inside, but it's Mariota's ability to make a quick ball fake, to play action, hold those linebackers, and the ball comes out so quick and so accurately. Very nice throw, and hard to do, believe me, very hard to do that for a quarterback.
Those kind of plays are the ones that let people know why the league is looking at this guy. They're very excited about his progress, and here in Nashville, they're going to hang their franchise on this guy's shoulders.
Mariota to the air again. Screen pass to Sankey. Has a little bit of room across the 15. Dragged down from behind by Nigel Bradham. But another first down for the Titans. And that's something that Ken Whisenhunt told us they've been working on a lot. He hasn't been happy with their screen game. They've been practicing it a lot, and it pays off here.
But Bishop Sankey is becoming that screen guy. You see him step up in, faking the play action. He had a couple of nice ones last week against Indianapolis. Got a good feel for the timing. You get the big boys out front. Jamal Meredith was out there in front leading the play. Very nicely executed by the Titans.
First down and 10. Tennessee has 7 first downs. Buffalo with 0. Sankey up the middle across the 10. And Darius makes the tackle with 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And this Buffalo Bills defense already, still in the first quarter with just ending the first quarter. They have been on the field almost the entirety of the first 15 minutes of this football game. 2 very quick 3-and-outs by the Bills offense, and sooner or later, late in the second half, it is really going to take a toll on this Bills defense.
That was the final play of the first quarter. Tennessee knocking on the door. We'll return to Nashville after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Here's been a major storyline so far in this game. Time of possession, Tennessee with 13 minutes plus. Buffalo's only run 6 plays. And it's been a theme for the Titans all year. They're 3rd in the NFL in time of possession.
And unfortunately for Buffalo, it's been a theme for them. The 3-and-outs way too often so far this year. But they've been pinned back in their own end zone a couple times as well. Tough to get into your offense from back there.
11th play of the drive for the Titans to start this second quarter. Mariota fires left, incomplete. Delaney Walker and Craig Stevens in that area.
And little pressure on Marcus Mariota on this play, but you're going to see some pressure coming up in his face. The blitz coming. Marcus Mariota, though, has completed. You see the pressure. That was Preston Brown on the hit. But Marcus Mariota, of his 8 touchdowns this year, 7 of them have come in the red zone. Very impressive for a rookie, because that illustrates good decision-making and accurate throwing. Such a tight part of the field down there.
Tennessee on this drive, 2 for 2 on third downs. Faced here with 3rd and 7. Mariota to Delaney Walker inside the 5-yard line. Immediately tackled. Corey Graham and Preston Brown in the stop, and they're going to spot this just short of a first down.
Yeah, and Ryan Succop's going to come in to kick the field goal. Walker on the rub route. That's a particularly good red zone route everybody runs, but the Tennessee Titans are going to be forced to try for the field goal here and go up on top 3 points. I think that's a disappointing way to end this drive. It was very impressive all the way down the field.
Yeah, Ken Whisenhunt, I think, showing a lot of confidence in his defense by both of his 4th down decisions here today.
100th career game today for Ryan Succop, and this field goal attempt from 21 yards to put Tennessee on the board, and Succop drills it. Long drive for the Titans. It went 13 plays, but it ends with 3 for Tennessee. And the Titans draw first blood here in Nashville. 13-play drive for Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans, and it took up close to 8 minutes off the clock. Ryan Succop the 21-yard field goal. Now Succop will kick it away with 14:09 to go in the first half. With Steve Berline and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan. Our entire NFL on CBS crew here in beautiful Nashville. Harvin and a touchback. Buffalo still looking for its first down. We're back in a moment. Spring, Titans tight end Delaney Walker teamed up with the Tennessee Governor's Highway Safety Office as an ambassador for the Booze It and Lose It campaign aimed at reducing impaired driving injuries and fatalities. Walker lost his aunt and uncle to a drunk driver. 14:09 to go, second quarter. Buffalo still looking for its first down. Tyrod Taylor. And he's going to keep this one himself. Pushed out of bounds by Woodyard. Someone on the sideline went to the ground as well.
Yeah, that was scary on the sideline. You know, it's a dangerous place to stand. You see right there, Tyrod Taylor coming full blast. I mean, that could have been a bad situation.
Well, it's one thing when you've got a helmet and pads on. When you're just standing there in street clothes, you don't have any protection. You got to keep your. It's a joke, but you got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to watch that stuff when you're standing down there. They don't let just anybody down on the sidelines for that reason.
Bills backed up again for their third drive. 2nd down and 8. On the carry, it's Sierra Wood. And he gets a couple on the play. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, this offense for the Buffalo Bills has got to find a way to get a pass completion, grind out a first down. You got to give Tyrod Taylor an easy completion and let one of your guys break a tackle or find some open space. They've got to find a way to complete a pass, which they have not done to this point.
Well, Tyrod Taylor's favorite target by far is Charles Clay, the big tight end. That's where you got to look in these situations. You figure he's got a matchup opportunity to make a play and give him a body to catch that football.
Percy Harvin shaken up. He goes to the sideline, and he is the most targeted receiver on 3rd down this season for the Bills, 29% of the time. They won't have him here for 3rd down and 5. Pressure coming from McCourty. Taylor steps away, but can't get away from Jurrell Casey. Another 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills, their 3rd of the game.
I want you to look at Jason McCourty right here. He's the corner. He's coming on a corner blitz. The adjustment made has got to be right here by Charles Clay. There should have been a quick throw if Tyrod Taylor is aware of the corner blitz coming. That's the best place to throw the football. Put it on your big tight end. Let him try to make a first down.
3rd sack of the season for Jurrell Casey, who Rex Ryan said this week is a disruptive force. Good punt here by Schmidt, driving McCluster all the way back inside the 15. McCluster to the 25. And that's where Tennessee will take over. Jurrell Casey, one of the more underrated defensive tackles in the game, and Buffalo is still without a first down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. FedEx, solutions that matter. And by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
Gorgeous day in the Music City, but the Bills offense really struggling with just 9 total yards. 12:18 to go, second quarter. And here's the other issue. That Buffalo defense has been on the field for all but 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Let's see how they do here as Mariota goes to the air and Douglas pulls in another, and a late flag comes in. It's a gain of 15 if it stands.
It's not going to.
Yeah, they're calling it on Harry Douglas.
It might be on. Yeah,
Pass
Douglas.
interference, number 83, offense. 10-yard penalty.
A little
still
push
first
off.
down.
Yeah, he had a two-hand shove to the chest of Stephon Gilmore to get separation and then come back and catch that football. Watch, you may not have it at the right angle this, but watch right there. You see Gilmore just get knocked off balance by the two-hand shove of Harry Douglas, and that's the penalty.
You made a great point, Andrew, too. This Buffalo deep, this will take a toll. 3 in a row, 3 and outs for their offense. That is already taking a toll, trust me.
Penalty makes it 1st and 20. That's Justin Hunter in motion. Sankey on the carry, and Sankey has some room. Another flag comes in back at the 19-yard line. Bishop Sankey in his second year out of Washington only played 18 snaps last game against the Colts. That was already his 4th carry, though, today.
Illegal shift, offense. Number 15, the player in motion, was in motion, and the tight end had gone down. Both players have to get set by rules. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Back-to-back penalties against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, and it's obvious. What happens is this has to stop before they can shift another player. And they were both moving. When the tight end moved up on the shift, he had moved, and they were both in motion. The wide receiver never got stopped again, and that's an easy penalty call.
So it's first down and 25 for Tennessee, going in the wrong direction. Mariota to the air. That pass is caught by Wright, and he's immediately wrapped up by the rookie Ronald Darby, who's off to an incredible start to his first NFL season. In fact, he was named the NFL Rookie of the Month for September on defense. Of course, the Rookie of the Month on offense for the NFL was Marcus Mariota.
And as far as Darby goes, I mean, listen to this. He's been targeted as much as anybody in the league, only second to his teammate, Stephon Gilmore. But of the 36 times he's been targeted, only 14 completions. So he's defending a lot of passes.
Pressure coming. Mariota gets rid of it to Andrews. And Andrews gets away from Jerry Hughes. Andrews still going. And it's a Tennessee first down. Jerry Hughes had him. And somehow Andrews got away for a gain of 24.
Yeah, this is the thing that you can't coach. You got to get your guys to tackle. And this right here is going to come out and try and make this tackle. And there's Hughes from the inside, grabs him, and that's it. You got to make the tackle. They gave up a touchdown last week to the New York Giants on a missed tackle. They give up an enormous first down here in the first half against Tennessee. Missed tackles are worse or as bad as the penalties.
So Tennessee was backed up. Now they get it all the way up to the 42-yard line on 1st and 10. McCluster. He dances his way across the 45 up to midfield for a gain of 8. Back to New York. An NFL Today update, JB and Boomer.
Nothing like a little defensive help.
Well, they got missed tackles there for the Buffalo defense. How about 2 guys running into each other for the New Orleans Saints defense? That's Josh Huff, 41-yard TD pass from Sam Bradford. This game is now tied 7-7.
Back to Andrew Catalon.
Guys, thank you. The missed tackles, as Steve pointed out. Nigel Bradham missed one last week on the Rashad Jennings touchdown. Hughes missed one there to open up the big play for Andrews, who this time on the ground maybe gets a yard. It'll be 3rd and short for Tennessee.
What a great tackle by Stephon Gilmore coming up in support role. This Buffalo defense, we were noticing during the update, their defense, all of them are standing up with their hands on their hips. I'm telling you, great play by Stephon Gilmore, but I'm telling you, this defense, the missed tackles, the running, the way that Tennessee's running the football is directly related to how long this defense has been on the field already.
There's the time of possession. Over 17 minutes already for the Titans in the first half. 3rd down and 2. Mariota in trouble, and Mario Williams got him. That is the 2nd sack of the season for Mario Williams and his 40th as a Buffalo Bill.
Well, Mario Williams is a beast. And Jeremiah Patazzi, we talked about it in the open, right here on the right side. You're going to see Mario Williams, number 94, coming off the edge. And Patazzi moves down to help inside, and nobody was manned up on Mario Williams. No excuse for that. That's a rookie mistake. I can guarantee you that was a mental mistake by Patazzi.
That is a huge stop for a tired Buffalo defense here in the first half. Burns punt into the end zone for a touchback. Mario Williams comes up with a big play for the Buffalo defense. The sack of Marcus Mariota, and the Bills are going back on offense. Earlier today, Tennessee honored 12 breast cancer survivors, bringing them on the field during the national anthem. You can join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about A Crucial Catch Day. It's this Tuesday, October 13th. And find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. 1st and 10 for the Bills from the 20-yard line. Boobie Dixon on the carry. And he gets a couple of yards. But this Buffalo offense, without LaShawn McCoy, without Carlos Williams, without Sammy Watkins, they have not gotten it going today, guys. How do they get on track?
Well, that's just it. They've got to find something that's going to work for them. They've tried to move Tyrod Taylor around. We've seen some bootlegs and some rollouts. Greg Roman there, the offensive coordinator, going down that play sheet, trying to find something to give his team some success and give that defense a rest.
Taylor to the air. Fires left, and that pass is caught by Marquise Goodwin, playing in his first game of the season because of a rib injury. He's got his first catch, and it goes for 14 yards.
Well, real nice throw and catch. Tyrod Taylor under control, had a nice pocket, and Marquise Goodwin, believe me, everybody on this field, especially the guys covering Parrish Cox, they know how fast Marquise Goodwin is. He's got world-class speed. Look at the nice pocket for Tyrod Taylor. But Marquise Goodwin is going to be very effective on those deep out-breaking routes because he gets those defensive back shoulders turned.
So it's the first down of the day for the Bills and the first completion for Tyrod Taylor. 6:40 to go, second quarter. And on the carry, it's Dixon. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, one thing now in the big picture of this game, the Buffalo offense can have some success if they can squeeze out some yardage and give the defense a rest. But let's face it, as much as the Tennessee offense has been on the field, they've only turned it into 3 points. And if you're looking at the scoreboard right now for Tennessee, you're starting to look at yourself going, wait a minute, we're dominating this game, but we can't score points, and that's been the difference.
Sierra Wood comes in at running back for Dixon. Give it to Sierra Wood, trying the left side, and he stopped. Zach Brown, who did not get the start today in favor of Wesley Woodyard, but they'll split reps, and Brown, who Ken Whisenhunt is trying to motivate, maybe sending him a message by not starting, makes a tackle there.
He was motivated on that play for sure. The defensive front did a great job of not allowing any movement up the field. Great penetration by the defensive front, allowing Zach Brown to get through there and make that tackle.
Bills 0 for 3 on third downs in this first half. It's 3rd and 10. Pressure coming, and Derek Morgan, he's got him. A sack for Derek Morgan and the Titans defense.
Well, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, well, when you're without your playmakers, Tyrod Taylor's going to have to win this game, and he's going to have to make some throws from the pocket. Great pass rush by Tennessee, but let's face it, this is a team built around playmakers, and when your playmakers are not in the game, you're not playing to your strength. Your offensive line is not your strength. They're one of your, so your running game isn't working. This is a team that needs their playmakers, and without them, they don't look 100%.
They give Morgan half a sack and Casey half a sack. Schmidt's punt nearly blocked. McCluster comes up the field at the 27. He's got some room. McCluster at midfield. Dexter McCluster inside Bills territory. A 28-yard return for Dexter McCluster, and the Titans are set up in good field position thanks to that defense. Pressure coming, Morgan and Casey, and the Titans going back on offense.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Voya Financial, changing the way you think of retirement. And by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
Tennessee has run more than twice as many plays as the Bills so far in this game, and great field position here for the Titans at the Bills' 47-yard line. Tennessee leads 3-0. Mariota to right, trying to get him in some space, puts the moves on, and tackled at the 43-yard line by Mario Williams.
Well, it's going to be a race against attrition. Can the Bills defense and their conditioning hold up under the time of possession that Tennessee is able to put together offensively on second down and 6? That's right where the Titans want to be. And the Bills are going to have to make another great stop to save their offense from having a hole bigger than they need to dig out of. And this is a hole that an offense that's not 100% can't dig out of.
Play action to Andrews. Mariota in trouble. He's crushed by Mario Williams, and the pass is incomplete. But once again, Mario Williams running free at the rookie quarterback.
Well, this is a fundamental flaw in design. Watch right here. You got here's Mario Williams off the edge, but he's going to be going against a tight end, unhelped. That's number 88. That's Craig Stevens trying to block one of the best pass rushing defensive ends in the NFL. That is not fair to put him in that position, and you're going to get your quarterback killed if you try and do that all day.
Following the incompletion, 3rd down and 6 for Tennessee. As we move closer to 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Mariota gets rid of it quickly, caught by Hunter, wrapped up immediately, and short of a first down by Corey Graham. Big tackle by the veteran Graham, the Buffalo native, and Tennessee will have to punt.
This is a great job by the secondary of the Bills. Nickel Roby coming off the slot. Mariota sees it, but Graham, knowing the defense, closes on Hunter so fast he can't turn up the field. Great read by Mariota, but the defense was there to make the tackle.
So here's Brett Kern with his 4th punt of the half. Denarius Moore back deep. Kern tries to angle this one. And a fair catch called for at the 7-yard line by Moore. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. We've talked a lot about how that Bills defense has been on the field for so much of this first half. It's a weird deal with the schedule this year so far for the Bills. It's the 3rd time this season the opponent is well rested. The Patriots and Giants were coming off Thursday Night Football games, and the Titans had a bye last week. Not a major deal, but it is a little something that gives the teams extra time to prepare. A little fresher out there against the Bills. Buffalo once again backed up to start this drive. It's Boom Herron on the carry, and he makes some moves to get up to the 15-yard line. Avery Williamson on the tackle as we go back to New York. An NFL Today update with JP and Boomer.
Boomer with a hockey turn.
This is a one-timer from Nick Foles to Tavon Austin underneath. That counts as a touchdown pass. Can you believe that, Steve Berline? I never had any of those.
Yeah, what the heck is that, man? A touchdown pass?
No surprise that Boomer makes a hockey reference. Big New York Rangers fan, and a big hit there by Jarrell Casey, who's been very active here in the first half. That
What a great play by Jurrell Casey right there. Showed his explosiveness, his quickness right in the backfield. Huge hit.
They tried to run a trap play on him, and he was in the backfield before Chantrell Henderson could get over to block him out. Great job by Casey. That's what an aggressive defense is always a more effective defense.
Tennessee calls a timeout. They don't want to let it go down to the 2-minute warning. Tomorrow on CBS, the only thing smarter than a genius is a whole team of them. Catch a new Scorpion tomorrow at 9/8 Central, only CBS. So Ken Whisenhunt taking that timeout.
Yeah, and that's showing not just confidence in your defense, but also confidence in your defense against this Bills offense. They're going to save the 2-minute warning, get the football back with more time, and save a couple of timeouts. They do not believe the Bills are going to get a first down here.
Taylor throws on the run, caught by Chris Hogan for a Buffalo first down. Runs out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Now the flip side of that is if you don't execute and they do get the first down, now you've given an extra play and more time to the offense. I would expect Greg Roman and Rex Ryan to decide to be aggressive in this situation because, heck, they've only got 2 minutes left in the first half. They've got to try and get some points on the board.
That's the first third down conversion of the day for the Bills as we've reached the 2-minute warning in Nashville. 2-minute warning in Nashville. Buffalo has it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The Bills have all 3 timeouts remaining. 4 receiver set. Taylor pump fakes. Now goes back towards his right and just throws this one to the sideline where Robert Woods makes the catch, but was he in bounds? No. He was out of bounds, and there is a flag down in the secondary. Flag down at the 36-yard line, and Tyrod Taylor a little slow to get up.
Yeah, he got tangled up. Someone was diving at his legs. Might have rolled up something.
It was Casey again.
Relentless in his pressure.
Well, the quarterback was still in the pocket. Illegal contact, number 33, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That goes against Michael Griffin.
As you see Tyrod Taylor break out of contain, Casey's going to continue to chase him. Yeah,
the left ankle.
That's why you don't want a quarterback with designed runs, let alone taking too many shots in the pocket.
So an automatic first down for Buffalo. It's 1st and 10. Taylor back to Woods, this time inbounds and then out of bounds with Jason McCourty blanketing him. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. They'll also have a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. After a gain of 6, it's 2nd and 4. Taylor over the middle. First catch today by one of his favorite targets, Charles Clay, and it goes for a Buffalo first down. Gain of 7, and now Buffalo trying to preserve those timeouts. Gets to the line. They'll go no huddle with 1:30 to go. Taylor taking a deep shot down the field, incomplete. Percy Harvin was the intended target.
Yeah, this Buffalo goes no huddle. It's sort of simplified Tennessee's front a little bit. Tennessee was bringing some pressure from both sides, and what they're doing when they blitz, they're blitzing off the edge instead of up the middle, which flushes Tyrod Taylor to the side they want him to run to, and it closes off half the field for the scramble. They've been bringing pressure, and when they went no huddle, they stopped that.
2nd and 10. Taylor to Boobie Dixon. Stiff arm by Dixon, and then knocked out of bounds.
Boobie Dixon's got to get out of bounds in that situation, without a doubt. That it's not more than they have to burn a timeout now.
Buffalo calls timeout. We're back in a moment. Tyrod Taylor had 36 yards passing in the first half last week against the Giants. He's got 36 yards passing so far in the first half today against the Titans. And his team has 3rd down and 6 with 1:06 to go in the first half. Taylor fires sideline. The receiver slipped. Robert Woods went to the ground. And once again, the Bills will be forced to punt with 1 minute to go.
Great job by Ray Horton. Dick LeBeau, you're going to see the slip on the outside by Woods, but that was pretty darn good covered by Jason McCourty anyway, and there was pressure on Tyrod Taylor coming off the edge. You see right there Michael Griffin, a well-timed, well-executed blitz. The right call by Ray Horton in that situation.
34 of their 51 first-half yards came on that drive for the Bills, but not enough, and they'll have to punt again. This is Schmidt for the 5th time today. A cluster with a fair catch at the 10. 54 seconds remain. So, with a rookie quarterback and 2 timeouts, what do you do if you're Ken Whisenhunt?
Well, you've had success, no question about it. He's going to drop back and throw this football. They're going to be aggressive here. They really have got to feel they're going to need more than 3 points to win this football game, and they were using their timeouts earlier in this half before the 2-minute warning, thinking like they were going to be aggressive.
I think I think Ken Whisenhunt very, very concerned right now, backed up at his own 10-yard line. I don't expect him to come out firing. I think they'll run a draw play or a screen pass, see if they can pop it, maybe some kind of run up the middle, but they're going to be very conservative in this situation with a rookie quarterback against a very exotic defense.
Mariota over the middle, caught by Hunter. He's got good speed. Hunter trying to get out of bounds, reaches forward to try to get the first down, but the clock will continue to tick.
Yeah, and that completion kind of sets the tone for how aggressive they're going to be the rest of the way. If it's a 2nd down and short, they're going to continue to be aggressive here after that success.
It is 2nd and short, and they do run the no huddle. No timeout used. Mariota, flag is down. Pass is broken up by Gilmore, who's had a nice first half for the Buffalo Bills. But let's see what the flag is.
Now they've got an issue with the sticks. That one side of the field says first down.
Face, number 77, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
There's a question now. They have the sticks on the far side moved to first down. The ones on the near side were still 2nd and very short. Now they're moving the ones on the near side. So that was a first down play.
Right. You're going to see Taylor Lewan on the left side. Right
here.
there.
Right here in the center of the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, hands to the face and grab his face mask.
5th penalty this season against Lewan. And here it is, Tennessee just being conservative with the handoff to McCluster. Puts his head down at the 10-yard line. The clock continues to tick.
Yeah, that penalty
that ended things for
Lewan,
Tennessee.
Ken Whisenhunt can be very safe, very conservative right now.
Rex Ryan does not call timeout, and the Bills will not have Cierre Wood the rest of the day. The backup running back is out with a knee injury. 3 points in the first half, fewest combined in the league so far this season. The Buffalo offense with just 51 yards of offense. Ryan sucked up the only points in the first half. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the 3rd quarter in Nashville. Titans lead the Bills 3-0. And now, who are you loving? Presented by McDonald's. Mario Williams in the big first half. The sack of Marcus Mariota. Titans could only manage a field goal. So we welcome you back into the booth with Steve Bernline and Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalon. Last week against the Giants, Tyrod Taylor had just 36 yards passing in the first half. Again today, 36 yards passing for Tyrod Taylor and Steve Tasker. The Bills offensively on 3rd downs only converted 1 time.
Yeah, and they've only completed 5 passes overall, so they've got to do something better offensively to give them a leg up. Their running game hasn't been effective either, and you see there, these are the 3rd down plays the Bills have faced. There's a sack, then another crucial 3rd down they faced, the pocket collapse. Tyrod Taylor has to cover up and make sure they get a chance to punt this football away. But if this pressure keeps up, it's going to be a long day.
Well, all things considered, if I'm Rex Ryan, I am fired up that my team's only down 3-0. And Ken Whisenhunt knows they had a chance in the first half to really get control of this game. The Buffalo defense is very worn down. but Rex Ryan has got to be extremely fired up that his team is right in this ball game as poorly as they played offensively.
The Bills did not run a play in Tennessee territory that entire first half, but Buffalo will get the ball to start the second half. Tyrod Taylor, 5 of 11 for 36 yards. Again, the Bills playing without 3 big weapons. LaShawn McCoy, Carlos Williams, and Sammy Watkins all out with injuries today. Percy Harvin is back deep. And the Bills will start at the 20 to begin the second half.
Well, how bad has it been for Buffalo? It doesn't get any worse than this. I mean, the first 3 obviously is as far as bad as it gets, but at least there hasn't been a turnover at their end of the field. They've been able to at least kick the ball out of there and not give the big play up to the Tennessee defense. But they've got to step it up big time offensively second half.
Boom Herron led the Bills in carries in the first half with 4. He gets the first carry of the second half and gets a couple. Again, Sierra Wood out the rest of the game with a knee injury.
And you can see the comparison here. It all comes down to the time of possession, 20 minutes for the Tennessee Titans. That is a lot of plays, a lot of first downs, a lot of opportunity. The Buffalo Bills defense has done an outstanding job of keeping them off the scoreboard. That's the story of the first half. We'll see if that story continues here in the second.
Second and 8. And Taylor rolls out, fires to the sideline. Was Goodwin inbounds? Yes, he was. Second catch for Marquise Goodwin, which is more than he had all of last year. Goodwin only had 1 catch in 10 games a season ago, his second of the day.
Well, when you're missing your #1 receiver and Sammy Watkins, the other guys have to step up. That's why they're here. Goodwin has been on the team for a couple of years. Hasn't had a chance to make a lot of plays, but he's got to step up. Rex Ryan mentioned him last night.
Harvin in motion. They give it to Harvin. Tripped up, it gets back on his feet. And gets close to the line of scrimmage. He was almost tackled for a loss. Instead, it will be second down.
Well, this was a play that was a lot of misdirection. Harvin looked like he was going to give this football to the player coming this way. Watch as he gets it. Then you've got Goodwin coming around the other way. So there was something going on there, but the defensive line, that is just a great job by Jarrell Casey, just exploding through the gap and blowing that play up.
Rakpo finished him off. Loss of 1. Second down and 11. Taylor chased by Morgan, and Morgan trips him up. Taylor goes down. Derek Morgan, the 6th-year man out of Georgia Tech, making his presence felt today defensively for the Titans.
Yeah, Morgan just too fast off the edge. We've seen it, but the other way around. You got Matthew Mulligan, a tight end, turning out to pass protect against one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, and Derek Morgan. That is not a fair matchup. You're having a hard play action fake. The quarterback's dropping back deep. A tight end cannot block a big-time pass rusher in that situation.
3rd sack today by the Tennessee defense. It's 3rd and 23 for the Bills. Taylor over the middle, short pass. Late flag comes in as Brian Arakpo was in the backfield.
Holding number 77, offense. The penalty has declined. 4th down.
4th holding penalty this season against Cordy Glenn, and the Tennessee defense again forces Buffalo to punt.
Buffalo has no answer for the pass rush of Tennessee right now. They're bringing some extra pressure, and they're doing some things up front to give them a chance, but the matchup they got on the tight end on 3rd down or 2nd down was just something they can't do.
Ray Horton and Dick LeBeau have really got this Titans defense playing inspired football. They've been playing fired up and at a high level all year. Today, no exception.
Punt number 6 for Schmidt. It's another good one. McCluster all the way back to his 15. McCluster across the 20. Lester McCluster with a nice return to the 29-yard line. A punt of 60 yards, a return of 15. And again, that Tennessee defense coming up big today against the Bills. Big difference in the third quarter this season for both teams. Tennessee's outscored its opponents 31-0, and the Bills' point differential in the third quarter -22. We'll see how it plays out here. The Titans have a 3-0 lead. Mariota out of the shotgun. Fires right, nearly intercepted. Nigel Bradham broke on that ball beautifully and almost picked off Mariota.
It really should have been an interception. Pressure coming. They knew exactly where Marcus Mariota was going to go with that football, and Bradham was in perfect position to make a play. Got to cash in when you get those opportunities.
Sankey on the carry, second down. Preston Brown comes up to meet him for a minimal gain. It will be 3rd and long for the Titans.
Yeah, and that's a defensive look where everybody's at the line of scrimmage, and the Titans trying to pop one right through very quickly up the middle to snap one off with no safeties.
No huddle for Tennessee on 3rd down and 9. Mario Williams coming. Mariota steps up, and his pass is short and incomplete. Douglas the intended target. Darby on the coverage, and that Buffalo defense forces a 3-and-out.
Well, coming into this game, I felt that Marcus Mariota was going to struggle because of the complexity of the Rex Ryan defense and scheme. Right there, complete misread in coverage. He didn't have any idea that Darby was going to be sitting underneath that route. Pressure again was coming on that play from Marcel Darius, but a really good job by Dennis Thurman and Rex Ryan keeping Marcus Mariota from getting comfortable. That was their priority.
The Bills cut Marcus Thigpen this week and signed Denarius Moore. Rex Ryan said he was looking for a spark in the return game. Here's Moore with a returnable punt. Moore at the 30. Denarius Moore up to the 40-yard line. Ball came out late, but they're saying he was down. There also is a flag back at the 25-yard line. Bills were only penalized 3 times in the first half.
The ruling on the field was that the runner was down prior to the ball being loose. During the return, illegal block in the back, number 27, receiving team. That's half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. Timeout.
Penalty is on Duke Williams, and Ken Whisenhunt has the red challenge flag in his hand. They're showing the replay of Moore's return on the big scoreboard here in Nashville, and Whisenhunt will have a chance to think about this one as we go to break.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by the all-new Fiat 500X crossover.
Ken Whisenhunt has challenged the ruling on the field. It was initially ruled that Moore was down before the ball came out. Here's another look.
Well, you can see the strip coming in from the right side, the left side, right side of Williams. That ball is now coming loose. It's not completely in his control. Now the question is it clear enough in this angle, which we believe is the best angle that we have? Is it clearly indisputable that that ball was coming loose before the knees hit the ground?
Mike Carey, our officiating expert, is back in New York. And Mike, what do you see on this play?
I see that at that angle, the ball is definitely loose, and in another angle, we saw a clear recovery. So if I was reviewing this, I would review fumble recovered by Tennessee.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that it's a fumble.
The only way.
The ball was out before the runner's knee hit the ground. It's a fumble. We have a clear recovery by number 52 of the kicking team. It will be Tennessee's ball. First down at the 39-yard line.
Good call, Mike Carey.
With a timeout.
As the ball is going back to the Titans. Denarius Moore signed this week to provide a spark in the return game, and he coughs it up here in the third quarter.
Yeah, the man that caused that fumble on special teams was number 45, Jalston Fowler, with the strip. Great job going for the football, popping it loose, and was clearly conclusive enough to make the reversal. Good challenge.
Defense is right back on the field.
Ken Wisenhunt now 2 for 2 on challenges this year. Last year he was 1 for 7. So good field position here for the Titans following the turnover. And Mariota, screen pass. Sankey comes back to get it, trying to reverse field. Gets around Kyle Williams. Sankey trying to fight his way to the 35-yard line. Didn't get much, but avoided a negative play, and it'll be second down for Tennessee.
Yeah, and that's a screen pass the Buffalo Bills were all over. It looked like they ran that screen pass right into the teeth of that defense, but it really was just well played by that front seven. It was a well-designed play, but the defense seemed to have a key of some kind. They were all over that screen pass.
Bills linebacker Randall Johnson with a wrist injury. He is questionable to return. On second down, Mariota in trouble. Running right. Chased by Williams and Lawson, and Mariota runs out of bounds. Turn that into a positive play. Second straight time Tennessee looked like they were going to lose yards. Instead, they gain a couple.
Well, this Tennessee offense has got to step up right now. They get the great field position off the special teams turnover. Marcus Mariota right there doing his part. He senses Mario Williams coming up inside, and he's fast enough to get outside to the edge and make a positive play out of it. But they've got to come away with points on this drive. Otherwise, one play can cost them the ball game the other way.
18th play for Tennessee in Bills territory. Buffalo still without a play in Titans territory. It's third down and 4. Mariota fires, caught by Kendall Wright, and that's a Tennessee first down up to the 22-yard line. It was actually Harry Douglas on the catch.
Yeah, you'll see the linebacker Brown trying to get out there. He just can't get there. He runs right past Walker and can't get to the curl zone fast enough to cut that pass off. Mariota gets rid of it just quick enough to have that lane still open for him to get the ball out there.
Gain of 11 for Douglas. That's his second catch. We mentioned this earlier. He is the most targeted receiver on third downs for this Tennessee team. It's another one on third down right there. Andrews on the carry. And Andrews fights his way inside the 20-yard line. Life is measured in seconds in America's busiest ER. Don't miss a new episode of Code Black Wednesday after Criminal Minds, only CBS. Well, this Tennessee red zone offense has done a great job this year, tied for second in the NFL, scoring touchdowns at a 76% clip. Let's see what they do here. Second down and 5. From the 17. And Ken Wisenhunt runs down the line to call a timeout. So Tennessee has to burn a timeout here in the third quarter with 8:26 to go.
Well, that was a good call by Ken Wisenhunt. You're in a situation where you know you want to come away with 7 points here to really get control of this game. Buffalo has really had Tennessee's number defensively in these situations, even though Tennessee has done a pretty decent job moving the ball up and down the field. Buffalo has tightened up when they've had to. This is a situation where Tennessee knows that they've got to come away with a touchdown. Ken Wisenhunt wanted to make perfectly sure his team knew what he was looking for.
He saw something in that defensive alignment that he did not like. Now, Ken Wisenhunt's the guy with the play sheet, so he knows the play they're going to run and knows what they're looking for. He's the one that needed to call that timeout because he didn't like the look. And Marcus Mariota, whether he liked it or not, wasn't going to get to run that play.
Wisenhunt in his career has just a 1-6 record coming off a bye. That's the worst win percentage of any coach who's had at least 5 byes. Trying to turn the tide here against the Bills. Second down and 5 with 8:26 to go in the third quarter. Hughes coming with pressure. Mariota stands in, fires inside the 5. It's caught by Delanie Walker. down at the 2-yard line. First and goal for the Titans.
Well, this is one of the things that I've been most impressed with when you look at the film of Marcus Mariota. We talked about it. His quarterback rating and his percentage and his accuracy in the red zone. That's not an easy throw. Even though Delaney Walker was open, man coverage, you still have to have the anticipation and the accuracy and the feet in the proper position to make the throw. That ball comes out clean. A good job by his offensive line up front, giving him a nice clean lane.
First and goal for Tennessee. Andrews is the running back. He gets the carry, tries the middle. No signal yet, and they're saying he's down at the 1. It will be second and goal.
And this is the type of situation that cost Tennessee the game against Indianapolis 2 weeks ago before their bye. They went for a 2-point conversion, and Ken Whisenhunt said, listen, we're trying to be a physical running team and make a statement about who we are, and this is the same type of situation. You can bet Whisenhunt wants his team to power this football in, but after given what happened to him, they may pull it back out and lob one over the top.
I'd look for Mariota to get to the edge in this situation.
Fowler the fullback, Andrews the running back. Second and goal. Andrews again, leaps, dives, he's in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Second career touchdown for Antonio Andrews. The first one came in the last game against the Colts, and Tennessee takes a 9-0 lead.
Nothing tricky about that play. Just lining up, trying to run it off the right side. Behind the rookie, Jeremiah Patasi. A couple of big tight ends right there. You saw a nice block by Jalston Fowler, kicking it out, that pressure that contained. Good job. Or a nice execution out of the Tennessee offensive line up front.
And the fumble by Denarius Moore proves costly for the Bills as Tennessee turns the turnover into a touchdown. Here is Suckup for the extra point. Not guaranteed anymore these days in the NFL, but this one is good. 6:51 to go, third quarter. And we have our first touchdown of the day. The Titans take a 10-0 lead. Antonio Andrews grew up in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, about 60 miles northwest of Nashville. He was undrafted out of Western Kentucky. Inactive the first 2 games this year because of a hamstring injury. Played in the last game against the Colts, had his first career touchdown, and he's got his second one here. With 6:51 to go in the third quarter, the Tennessee Titans have a 10-0 lead on the Bills. Harvin's going to take this one out. And Harvin tackled at the 20. Buffalo trying to get something going on offense when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Find your agent at statefarm.com. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile. First and 10 for the Bills. Taylor, play action, feeling the heat, gets away from Blackson. Taylor will keep it himself and spins out at the 25-yard line. Tennessee's been applying pressure against Tyrod Taylor. Already 3 sacks in this game.
Yeah, no question about it. The defensive front of Tennessee has dominated this side of the football. The offensive line has struggled to protect him. They've gotten a couple of holding penalties, and their run game right now, before that last run by Tyrod Taylor, was 11 for 24 yards. They are absolutely getting manhandled by Dick LeBeau's front 7.
6 possessions in this game for Buffalo. 4 of them gain less than 10 yards. This is the 7th try, and Boobie Dixon trying to get to the outside. Dixon lowers his shoulder, and with that spot, Dixon has a Buffalo first down.
That's a big first down for Buffalo, not only because it just moves the change, but the way they were able to do it. They actually got physical up front, got to the edge with the outside running play, and had a positive play in controlling the defense of the Tennessee Titans at the point of attack.
Just the third carry for Dixon. Bills have only 35 yards rushing. Dixon remains the running back on 1st and 10. Taylor to Dixon out of the backfield and is crunched at the 40-yard line. But at least some positive plays consecutively for the Bills, something we didn't see very often in the first half.
Yeah, nothing really nothing much X's and O's about this. This is just Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, looking down and trying to find some way to get some positive plays out of his offense. They've been inconsistent, and Tyrod Taylor has not been able to stand in the pocket and look down the football field. So a quick release to the running back has been the first positive play.
Marquise Goodwin lined up at the top. They run it inside to Jerome Felton. That's his first carry of the season. And he moves the change with a Buffalo first down. Well, Rex Ryan said that, without McCoy, without Carlos Williams, it's not an ideal situation in the backfield. Dixon, Boom Herron, Wood, who was injured. But he said we still have to run the football, and you're seeing a commitment to that, at least to start on this drive with 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Again on the ground with Boom Herron up the middle across the 45. And we go back to New York, and NFL Today update, JB and Boomer.
Something KC fans don't want to see.
That's right, JB. They're leading 17-3 inside the 20-yard line right there. You can see Jamal Charles goes down. Here it looks like he hurts his right knee. He grabs his knee. He's going to be evaluated. Obviously, remember back in 2011, he hurt his left knee. Chiefs lead 17-3, but that is a big loss for Kansas City.
I know Andrew is working with two pros. You hate to see that. Andrew Catalan.
And no doubt about it. Thank you very much, guys. All the best to Jamal Charles. 2nd down and 5. Again on the ground. And it's Boom Herron. Ball is out. Herron lost it. No signal yet. Now they do. The Bills recover, but nearly another turnover by Buffalo.
Very fortunate. This ball, Boom Herron hadn't been here very long, but he's been around long enough to know that football security is the #1 priority anytime you get the football put in your belly. That was a nice strip there coming from the inside. Could have been catastrophic.
The center, Eric Wood, recovered. Crowd is loud here in Nashville on 3rd and 4. Taylor wants to keep it himself, and he's got the first down. Still going. Tyrod Taylor at the 35, dancing his way inside the 30. What a run by Tyrod Taylor. Give him 26 yards. Michael Griffin finally caught up with him.
Well, we spoke to him yesterday, and he said he was with 3 different offensive coordinators in Baltimore, and when he came to Buffalo, a lot of people thought he was just a throw-in. This is why he won the job in Buffalo. One, he's used to learning new offenses, and the second reason is this right here. He can do that, and that's the magic that Bills fans and the coaching staff want from him, and on that play, he delivered for the first time today.
First time today that Buffalo is in Tennessee territory, nearly through 3 quarters. Boom Herron. And you like what you see from the Bills' ground game on this drive. They are effectively moving the football by keeping it on the ground.
That's a priority. Greg Roman and Rex Ryan have made a commitment to trying to do it this way, not to panic, not to get too desperate in trying to make things happen. They've found some kind of a wrinkle up inside. The offensive line is coming off the ball. They're giving these running backs a seam to get up in there and make positive yards.
18 run plays today for the Bills, 17 passes. 2nd down and 6. Flag is down. Taylor fires incomplete. That's off the hands of Woods, and we have multiple penalties down. There's a flag at the 10. There's another one at the 19.
We've got encroachment on the defense for Tennessee, against Tennessee. But you're right, with so many flags down, there's got to be a couple of different penalties going on.
Here's Walt Anderson.
There are fouls by both teams. Offsides, number 90 defense lined up in the neutral zone. Pass interference, number 10, offense. Both fouls offset. We'll replay second down.
One on Robert Woods, the other on Daquan Jones of the Titans, and we replay the down.
Well, Tyrod Taylor takes a big hit here. This is Daquan Jones. He was the one that lined up offside. That might have been why he got the edge, but you don't want your quarterback taking that kind of shots.
Ninth play of the drive. Taylor keeps it himself. Room up the middle. Tyrod Taylor on the move. Gets to the outside. Taylor into the end zone for a touchdown. Nearly stepped out of bounds at the 5. Kept his feet, and Buffalo is on the board.
Just a designed quarterback draw up the middle. A called run where Tyrod Taylor takes a drop back like he's dropping to throw the football. You see that? Then he tucks it up inside. You see the lineman getting upfield, and the rest just individual. Great block right there by Robert Woods. Took out 2 Tennessee Titans, and Tyrod Taylor does the rest.
Well, in a game like this, too, when your biggest playmakers are out of it, everybody else has got to step up, and they put a big boatload of pressure on this drive on Tyrod Taylor. He made the big play on a draw play that was undesigned, and then they came back with the design quarterback draw to get the touchdown. They needed more out of him today, and for the first time today, he came through big time on that drive.
Great job to keep his feet. Second rushing touchdown this season for Taylor. And here's Dan Carpenter for the extra point. And he tucks it in with 1:20 to go in the third quarter. The Bills got it going on the ground. Tyrod Taylor caps the drive, and we've got a 3-point game. Both teams' leading rushers today are their quarterbacks. Tyrod Taylor, 55 yards on the ground, including that 22-yard touchdown, and Marcus Mariota with 22 yards rushing. That leads the Titans. You see their lead cut down to 3 with 1:20 to go in the third quarter.
Remember, Tyrod Taylor last week had a 35-yard touchdown run called back through the penalty in that game against the Giants.
Returnable kick for Sankey, who bobbles it, picks it up at the 2. Sankey with a flag down. It's brought down inside the 20. Second time that Sankey has juggled a kickoff, including the opening kickoff.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 55, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, 1st and 10.
That goes against Zach Brown. Week 5 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. So the penalty backs up Tennessee to its own 5-yard line with 1:15 to go in the third quarter.
Mariota got to be very careful with the football here in this situation.
It's Andrews on the carry across the 5. Just trying to give Tennessee some breathing room. Andrews scored the lone Tennessee touchdown earlier in the third quarter after the fumble by Denarius Moore on the punt return. And Tennessee, as we showed you earlier, outscoring opponents 31-0 in third quarters this year, but here today it's Buffalo outscoring them 7-0 with 38 seconds remaining. McCluster trying the left side, not much doing. Bills defense not fooled.
Yeah, this
check that. Tennessee did have that touchdown in the third quarter, so even here in the third quarter with 20 seconds remaining, time ticking down. That could be the final play here of the third.
Yeah, you said it, Steve Berline. A little conservative here on 1st and 2nd down. Just a couple of off-tackle plays. One with McCluster, who you never think is going to be part of the running game, more of a passing game. But I'm with you. You got to be conservative here.
That is the end of the third with the score. Tennessee 10, Buffalo 7. We'll return to Nashville after this message. And a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. It's been almost exactly 1 year since the Titans last won a home game, October 12th last year against Jacksonville, and they start with 3rd and 8.
I think you look to go up top. We haven't seen much of Dorial Green-Beckham. He's on the bottom left right here. Big wide receiver. I think you take a shot up the field. Maybe you get a pass interference.
Looking his way, and he wasn't ready for it. Incomplete, but a flag comes in.
Wow.
Gilmore was all over Green-Beckham. Let's see if that's the call.
That's why you throw it. It's so easy to get called for pass interference.
Pass interference, number 24, defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
I was talking to a couple of officials earlier today. One of the things that's changed and why we see a lot of this, it's not interpretation. If the guy gets a handful of jersey, which you see right there, he had a handful up on the upper right shoulder. Once you grab a handful of jersey, there's no interpretation. It's a penalty. And that's why it's so easy for the officials to throw it, because they don't have to justify any judgment at all.
And Steve Berline calling that one correctly to Dorial Green-Beckham. It gives Tennessee a first down. That was the first Bills penalty since the first quarter as McCluster's on the carry. To Buffalo's credit, they've done a better job today limiting the penalties, but that one gives Tennessee an automatic first down. Tyrod Taylor watching from the Buffalo sideline as the Titans break the huddle. It's 2nd down and 8. Mariota out of the gun. Looking left, in trouble. Flag is down, and Mariota goes down. Kyle Williams got him, but let's see what the penalty is.
Illegal hands to the face, number 77, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still 2nd down.
Now they decline. I think Buffalo may decline this too after the sack. You might want to take it on and give yourself a 3rd and 11. And we'll see if they do.
Has elected the option to decline the penalty. It's 3rd down.
Yep, good call there. And it'll be 3rd down and long for Tennessee.
Well, that's the 3rd penalty on Taylor Lewan right here on the left-hand side. 2nd with hands to the face. He's a very impressive young offensive lineman. But 3 big penalties today. Those are things that really put you behind the 8 ball, especially with a young quarterback.
First sack of the season for Kyle Williams. It's 3rd down and 11. Pressure coming. Mariota gets rid of it and throws a strike along the sideline to Justin Hunter, who has a Tennessee first down. That's a clutch play and throw by Marcus Mariota with pressure coming.
You know what I liked about that play, guys? He changed the play. He went to the line of scrimmage and checked to the route that he saw. He knew a blitz was coming. He made the check, communicated it to his teammates, kept his composure, and threw a strike in a pretty good coverage out there. A big-time play by the young quarterback.
We asked Ken Wisenhunt, what have you seen through 3 games with Marcus Mariota? First word out of his mouth, poise. They really like the composure of this young man who's still just 21 years old. He'll keep it himself, and he's got a lot of room to run. Mariota, first down. Mariota shoved out by Corey Graham at the 48-yard line. A gain of 23.
Okay, here's the play. This is a fake inside the zone read. What Mariota's going to do is he's going to come outside, and I want you to see what he's going to see out in front of him out here because of the zone read. He made a proper decision. The defense crashes down to take the running back, and you'd see all the green grass out in front of him. Brilliantly executed by Marcus Mariota.
Mariota had 25 yards rushing in the first 3 games combined. Today he's got 44 yards on the ground to lead the Titans. Screen pass here to Delaney Walker. Another Tennessee first down. Tripped up by Corey Graham. But a gain of 13.
Now you're getting an idea of now maybe the Buffalo Bills defense is starting to remember they played the entire first quarter and they're not quite as explosive off the football up front. A few misdirection plays has got them a little bit tired and starting to look around a little bit. Great job of play selection by the Titans, and of course the great checkout earlier by Mariota really put the Bills in a bind after they'd gotten them to a 3rd and long.
8th play of the drive. Sankey in at running back for the Titans as Fasano goes in motion. And Sankey trying to crawl through a tight space. Somehow he does. How did he not go to the ground on that play? What a run by Sankey.
That was really impressive by Sankey. I don't know. I thought he was down 5 yards earlier, but he couldn't have been more than a foot or two off the ground when he scorched through there.
They put his hand down, Crab walked a little bit, and I think this is a real sign in this drive, particularly late in the game when we've said that the Bills have been out there a long time defensively. They had a chance to get off the field, but now in a long drive, now you're really seeing the extent of the day.
A 9-yard nifty run from Sankey makes it 2nd down and 1. And Andrews picks up the 1st down. Good balance today by Tennessee. 26 runs, 27 passes.
And we talked earlier, we've well documented the penalty problems that Buffalo's had this year. They've been much, much better today as far as the number of penalties, but that was the key play in this drive was the 3rd and long back at the beginning of the drive. The pass interference on Stephon Gilmore. That is what kept the drive alive. A poorly timed penalty in a key situation.
Fifth 1st down of the drive for the Titans with 10.5 minutes to go. Play clock at 1, and Mariota has to call timeout. And remember, the Titans also used one in the 3rd quarter, so they only have 1 remaining. Tonight, what does President Obama have to say about Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton? Find out on 60 Minutes tonight. So Tennessee with just 1 timeout remaining, 10:32 to go. And they have it 1st down and 10 from the Buffalo 30-yard line. With Steve Berline and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan, our entire NFL on CBS crew here in Nashville. Play action. Mariota flushed out. Mariota shakes from behind and throws it away as Jerry Hughes was bearing down on Mariota.
Good coverage sack there as Mariota had plenty of time and extended the play with his legs.
Well, you're going to see what happens right here is you're going to have a post and a corner, but it's played very well by the Buffalo Bills on defense, and Mariota wisely tries to buy a little bit of time, and there's no one open down the field. He's got no one to go to the football with. Good coverage and a smart play by the young quarterback getting rid of that football.
McCluster runs out to the bottom of your screen. Antonio Andrews, the other running back, on the top of your screen. Mariota looking that way. Andrews makes the catch inbounds. Good grab there by the 2nd-year man out of Western Kentucky. A gain of 7.
That ball was almost picked off by Ronald Darby at the top of the screen. Good break on the football. He was right there for it, but nice throw and catch to pick up a good solid gain for the Titans.
Here's a big play right here. Buffalo trying to force Tennessee to a field goal. Meanwhile, the Titans with 3rd and 3. They've converted 5 of 11 on 3rd downs today. Can the Bills come up with a stop? 3 on the play clock.
Pressure coming.
Mariota just gets it off. Quick pass, dropped by Kendall Wright. Kendall Wright had not dropped a pass this season and all of last season. It's his first drop since 2013.
And the Bills do a nice job of keeping this play on. The safety comes right down inside. Duke Williams right there to meet him, and make no mistake, Wright knew he was there.
That was not going to be a 1st down anyway. It was the perfect timing, the right call by Rex Ryan and Dennis Thurman. Mariota had only one place to go with that football. It was defended very well.
So here's Ryan Suckup with a 41-yard field goal attempt. He hit from 21 in the 1st half. Suckup's kick is good, and Ryan Suckup now 4 of 4 on the year. But the Bills Do a good job defensively, holding Tennessee to 3, and it's a 6-point game here in Nashville.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast. Sheraton, where actions speak louder. And by Cialis.
Downtown Nashville has been rocking with Bills fans this weekend. Bills Mafia, they made the trip here to Nashville, and right now trying to see if their team can pull off a fourth quarter comeback. Tyrod Taylor and the Bills trail by 6. 9:36 to go in the fourth quarter. See all the Bills jerseys and fans in attendance. There are a lot of them here in Nashville. 9:36 to go. The kickoff by Succop to Percy Harvin, and it will be a touchback. Your weekend starts here when the Falcons throw down with the Saints on Thursday Night Football. It's on CBS and NFL Network. New Orleans in this series has done a good job at home against the Falcons. They've won 9 of the last 12 coming up this Thursday. Well, on the first 6 drives of the game today for the Bills, they had a total of 56 yards, but the last drive went for 80 yards. They'll try to go 80 again here and take the lead. It's 1st and 10 from the 20. Boobie Dixon, and Woodyard comes up to make the stop for a gain of 1. Well, that spark on the last drive especially was the legs of Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, for a team that's got 136 yards of total offense, Tyrod Taylor has 116 of them. You see here the 2 runs he made. Sensational plays. He was the guy that got it done in that last drive that got him back into this football game. He has gotten 0 help from the guys on his team, the playmakers on his team. It's been all Tyrod Taylor. We'll see if he can get it done.
Taylor with his arm, and a diving attempt is incomplete by Percy Harvin.
Well, I can tell you this, guys. You cannot win a game in the NFL if you're only throwing for 61 yards. This is a throw that Tyrod Taylor has to make. A very nice route. Good job of making the right decision. Percy Harvin wide open. That throw and catch has got to be made.
Yeah, now you're looking at a 3rd and 9 all of a sudden instead of a 3rd and 2, maybe even a 1st and 10.
Morgan coming with pressure. Taylor's pass is complete, but Seantrell Henderson tackled Derek Morgan, and that's going to be a holding call.
Holding, number 66, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Another costly penalty on the Bills comes on 3rd down.
Well, here's Henderson right there on the edge, number 66. Derek Morgan has really had his number all day. You can see that right shoulder just got pulled straight down to the ground. Morgan very frustrated. The right call for sure. Morgan's had a pretty impactful game today, really coming hard off that edge.
3rd down and 18. Flag is down, and once again it's going to go on Seantrell Henderson, this time for a false start.
Well, for a team that needed to clean penalties
Prior
up.
to the snap, false start, number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
They had done a pretty good job of cleaning it up, but here in this drive, now it's come back to haunt them. And it's been crucial penalties that have really done it. On 3rd down, the critical downs on both sides of the football have been the difference for the Buffalo Bills. And here again, the penalty is what takes them out of it.
Taylor steps up, has some room. Tyrod Taylor at the 20, goes the other way to the 30, and he's got the 1st down. A late flag comes in, 2 of them do. Horse collar. And Tyrod Taylor is still down. What a
All right,
run
stay
by
down.
the Bills quarterback.
Yeah.
He got 25 yards, and now he's up. But that does look like a horse collar tackle against the Titans.
Yeah, there's no
Personal
question.
foul, horse collar tackle, number 55, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
This is inexcusable for the Tennessee Titans. Watch what happens here. You're going to see right before Tyrod Taylor takes off. That's all I was worried about was the run for Tyrod Taylor. That's the only way Buffalo could pick up a first down. They had no spy. They had nobody even aware of the possibility of the only guy that's hurt you on the field all day today. They should have been aware of that possibility. Not at all.
So Buffalo was backed up, 3rd and a mile, crowd going nuts. Instead, it's a 39-yard play, 24-yard run, 15-yard penalty. But Tyrod Taylor is now out after that horse collar, and in is E.J. Manuel. So we'll see if this is just for one play.
It would just be for the one play. He has to come out because they stopped play to check and see if he was all right.
And Buffalo could have called a timeout to keep Taylor on the field. Instead, it's E.J. Manuel, who's only appeared in one game this year, the 4th quarter of the blowout win against Miami. Did not throw a pass. This is Herron. And he's got a couple. Let's go back to that horse collar tackle, which only kept Taylor out for the one play. He's coming right back in.
Yeah, and the horse collar tackle was a safety issue, which is why the rule was instrumented. A defensive player does exactly that right there. As he grabs the back of the player and swings his body to Zach Brown into the back of Tyrod Taylor, you can tell why it's a safety issue and why that's such a point of emphasis. That is a dangerous tackle.
Jarrell Casey is down for the Titans. And we'll take a break and come back to Nashville in a moment. Jarrell Casey appears to be okay, came off under his own power. He'll watch this play, though, from the sideline. It's 2nd down and 9. Taylor looking deep for Hogan. Matched up with Sensabaugh. Hogan wins that battle inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Bills. A gain of 46. Taylor to Hogan.
This is just a spectacular throw and catch. Hogan, been quiet all day, just runs right past Sensabaugh, who, by the way, is having a fantastic year at defensive back for Tennessee. There's not been many balls completed on him all year. That was just a perfect throw and a big-time catch by Chris Hogan.
The longest catch of Chris Hogan's career, a 46-yard pickup, 1st and goal for the Bills from the 7-yard line. And there was only 3 on the play clock. Buffalo has to call a timeout. First timeout this half used by Rex Ryan and the Bills with 6:51 remaining.
That is the extent of their passing game today.
And Taylor is 9 of 16 for 107 yards passing. Meanwhile, on the ground, Tyrod Taylor with a career-high 79 yards rushing. Of course, the big one on 3rd down earlier this drive, backed up almost in his own end zone.
And now that they're down here, down close, you got to think, when you're down here, usually red zone, you think players. You don't think run or pass or formations or personnel. You think, who do we need to get the football in the hands of? And for the Bills, it's number 5.
And if he's going to throw the ball, the one guy you're looking for is Charles Clay in this situation. He is a very, very consistent threat in the red zone.
Boobie Dixon is the running back. Dixon. And Dixon gets to the 5-yard line. We spoke with Boobie Dixon last night. We said, how would you describe your style? He said, it's not pretty. It won't be on many highlight reels, but I like to grind it out. And those are the types of yards the Bills need here inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, not
6:30 to go.
Not much finesse in Boobie Dixon. And that's the kind of running back Rex Ryan, quite frankly, likes.
A direct snap to Dixon. Hogan the other way. Hogan throws, and it's caught by Tyrod Taylor. What a play by Greg Roman. It doesn't go for a touchdown, but Buffalo down to the 2.
What a play by Parrish Cox is what I got to say about that. I mean, that was a great play call Greg Roman had it set up perfectly, and for Parrish Cox to read it and sniff it out was just absolutely spectacular, and to make that tackle in the open field.
That's an unbelievable play call, and it really was a fantastic job by Tennessee to rally to that ball.
Chris Hogan played 4 years of lacrosse at Penn State. Didn't know he could throw a football. Taylor rolling right, throws, caught, Hogan, touchdown, Buffalo! An 80-yard drive by the Bills, and they are an extra point away from taking the lead.
Well, you just knew. And this happened 2 weeks ago in Indianapolis, against Indianapolis here. They let the Colts come back in and take control of the fourth quarter. Nice catch by Hogan, who ends up being the key guy on the receiving end of 2 plays. But when you let a team hang around, like they've let Buffalo hang around today, it comes back to haunt you in this league. Today is another example. 2 weeks ago was the first example.
Now, Dan Carpenter has been in Rex Ryan's doghouse. He's missed an extra point, missed 2 field goals this year. This week, they brought in Billy Cundiff to just handle kickoffs, but Rex Ryan told us last night that Carpenter is on a short leash.
And trust me, he knows he's on a short leash. His head right now is spinning, I guarantee you. Big kick for him.
To give Buffalo the lead. And Carpenter drills it. 5:25 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Bills have a 1-point lead. Tyrod Taylor may have saved the day with this run on 3rd down. And then a big play to Chris Hogan, and then the touchdown from Taylor to Hogan. Bills by 1.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Audi. Challenge all givens. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway, eat fresh.
5:25 to go. Bills take a 14-13 lead. Tyrod Taylor has set a franchise record with 79 yards rushing, the most by a quarterback in franchise history. And now the Bills will rely on their defense. And remember, Tennessee has just 1 timeout remaining. McCluster will take this one out of his own end zone. McCluster spun down at the 19-yard line. Saturday, the SEC on CBS brings out the best game from the best conference when Nick Saban's Crimson Tide roll against Kyle Allen and the Texas A&M Aggies. It all begins with college football today. There is an injured Titan down on the field with 5:19 to go, and it's Zach Brown, the 4th-year linebacker out of North Carolina.
Well, we'll see as we watch Zach Brown being attended to on the field and Tyrod Taylor being attended to on the Bills sideline. To see how that develops.
Bills were working on Tyrod Taylor during that last time out. Appears to be okay, and having a word with Chris Hogan, and 2 of them, the stars of that last touchdown drive for the Bills. And now Buffalo needs to rely on its defense, try to prevent Ryan Succop from getting in field goal range. He's 4 for 4 this season on field goals. His career long is 54. Titans will start this drive at the 15. Only 1 timeout remains for Tennessee. Hughes coming with pressure. Mariota has time, fires, and it's incomplete. That was a dangerous pass in the middle of the field. Nickel Roby jumped up. They need a couple more inches to get there.
Well, that was one of the things Rex Ryan told us. The receivers for Tennessee, they've got some very tall, very physical receivers. Nickel Roby, he just doesn't have enough length to get up and get that pass into Hunter.
He's 5'8". He's the shortest guy on the team.
Hunter almost came down with that one. Now remember, Mariota led this Titans team back 2 weeks ago against Indianapolis. Similar situation.
Mariota keeps it himself, trying to get to the outside, and he's dragged down.
You can't do
by
that.
Bradham, and that's a penalty.
That's a horse collar, just like it was for Tyrod Taylor as well. Now they're talking it over because he did not throw himself on the back of of Mariota's legs.
There is no foul for a horse collar tackle. The grab was by the player's number. For it to be a foul, it has to be by the collar.
By rule, it's got to be inside the collar.
That's a good call.
It is, but you look back at Tyrod Taylor's. I don't know if it was actually inside the collar
either.
either.
It's the exact same thing.
If you're calling it one way, you got to call it the other way.
Yeah, and now,
it's the theory of the horse collar.
That's right, and that's.
But the rule is very specific. I mean, but they did call it earlier, and I don't think the hand got inside of Tyrod Taylor's collar earlier in the ball game.
You're right. If you're going to call it one way, you got to call it the other. Now the officials don't see it that way. They want to get it right, and if they miss one, they're going to get the next one right. They got that one right, and they missed the one on Tyrod Taylor.
So big play here, 3rd and 7. Mariota fires over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Hunter. Corey Graham closed quickly, and now a flag comes in.
Very late. It might have been a defenseless player penalty to knock that ball loose.
That was a good 3-4 seconds after the ball had gone to the ground.
Now they're going to have to look at their wristbands and say yes, sir, because Graham came in with a shoulder.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 20, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Penalties continue to kill the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, well, this one, if he comes in helmet first and makes contact, it's a penalty. Now, he looks like he tries to come in.
That was his left shoulder.
Yeah, it comes in with his left shoulder.
And it wasn't to the head.
Yeah.
I think I really have a problem with that call. I understand, but it was right as the ball was getting there, too, so he's got a right to make that play on the ball.
7 penalties, 62 yards, but so many of those penalties have come in big spots on 3rd downs like that one when the Bills thought they were getting off the field. Instead, it's 1st and 10 with 4:37 to go. Sankey stuffed.
When you talk about what has happened to the Bills, and so many things have been said about their penalty, their propensity to get them, and you talk to the coaching staff, a couple of the coaches kind of shrugged their shoulders. They had 2 touchdowns called back last week, and they were, and in their opinion, really bad calls. So as bad as it is, you can't, the inconsistency with the officiating, you can't really battle. And if you think your players are playing good, you don't want to change too much, even if they are taking bad penalties.
Loss of 2 on that play. Tackle made by Kyle Williams. It's 2nd and 12 with 4 minutes to go. Screen pass. McCluster makes the catch. McCluster is shoved down by Jerry Hughes. It will be 3rd down for Tennessee.
Let's take a look at those 2, and we don't want to get too carried away with the penalties, but let's take a look. The Tyrod Taylor tackle is right there. He does not have his hand inside the collar. It is on the jersey. And then back the other way, Marcus Mariota going out. Same thing. He's got his hand on the jersey, but not in the collar.
So it's 3rd down and 13 with 3:20 to go. This is 4-down territory for the Titans. They only have 1 timeout remaining. 2 on the play clock. Mariota's pass is caught by Delanie Walker. It will be 4th down.
And that ball was tipped.
And there's an injured Titan down on the field.
There's 2 of them. One
2 of
Walker
them down.
on the sideline
Walker.
and 1 out on the field as well. That's Fasano down, and
Walker and Fasano, 2 of their 4 tight ends, are down on the ground. Clock is stopped with 3:02 to go. Another look. Roby made the tackle on Delanie Walker, who immediately reached for his left hip.
yeah, that was a hip pointer for Walker. I don't know what happened outside to Fasano. Here's Fasano right here. Oh, I see. Yeah, that Mario Williams jumped over and probably caught him with a knee or a head or something to his head right out here. Oh, that's exactly it. He got knocked cold by Mario Williams trying to jump over him, and Williams got a piece of that football as well. And then Walker comes down on his left hip.
Now, it's 4th down. They have 1 timeout and a 2-minute warning, and Ken Wisenhunt has sent his punt team out. Do you guys agree with this call, or would you go for it on 4th and 10?
I think it's the right call. I do. You got 4th and 11 is actually what we're looking at. The odds of making that play are slim. Your defense has been playing pretty darn well all day except for the last 2 drives, and it's been Tyrod Taylor that's kind of exposed you. But I think you have to punt it in this situation.
So Brett Kern is out. Denarius Moore back deep, fumbled one earlier. Fields it at the 22. Trying to get to the outside, and Moore is shoved out at the 36-yard line. Stay tuned for the NFL Today update presented by FanDuel. Time permitting, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. All right, so Ken Wisenhunt decides to punt. That puts the pressure on his defense to come up with a big stop and try to get the ball back. Only 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see Ken Wisenhunt be judicious with the use of this timeout. He's going to have to use it. If the Bills get 1 first down, that changes everything. And it also depends if they get the first down on 1st down or 3rd down. I mean, Ken Wisenhunt really showed a lot of faith in his defense, but on a 4th and 11, he made the right call on the punt.
Felton, the fullback, and Dixon, the running back. It's Dixon. And he scrambles forward across the 40-yard line. And Ken Wisenhunt, looking at the clock, does not call his last time out here.
Well, there's a lot of football left to be played, but if you're Ken Wisenhunt, you've watched your team 2 weeks in a row completely dominate a football game for 3+ quarters and still might find a way to lose 2 games in a row.
Yeah, the Bills are going to have to run a play before the 2-minute warning, as the play clock is just a hair ahead of the 2-minute.
Play in motion. It's Dixon. Gets a couple. 2-minute warning. It'll be 3rd down and short when we come back to Nashville. 2 minutes to go. Buffalo a 1-point lead. It's 3rd down and 3. If the Bills get a first down and stay in bounds, game is pretty much over. Taylor looking to throw, in trouble. Taylor goes down, wisely inbounds. Ken Wisenhunt calls his final timeout, but Buffalo will have to punt.
I really am confused by that. I don't know if the intent was to throw a pass there or what. He was not looking to run a sweep.
Well, it looked like it might have been a rollout to the right, and they had some guys trying to sneak out the backside to the far side to get loose, and Tennessee did a fantastic job of not letting anybody through. There you go. There's the Robert Woods standing by himself. There's the play.
He's not even in the route, though, Steve.
Pressure,
you know,
yeah.
Rolling to the right, you can't go back and make that throw.
No.
Quarterback will never see that.
The real play was to the short guys up front. The Tennessee Titans did a really nice job of getting those guys on the side he was rolling to tied up, and they couldn't get through the traffic. It was supposed to be a short throw to the flat on the left, and he couldn't get the pressure got to him.
Colton Schmidt has averaged 51 yards per punt today. McCluster back deep. McCluster comes up to the 22-yard line. Gets away from one. McCluster to the 30. No timeouts left for the Titans. 1:41 to go.
Well, this has worked out perfectly for what Ken Wisenhunt was hoping for. Plenty of time left on the clock. No timeouts, obviously, but all they need is a field goal.
35 yards is all they need to get to the 35-yard line, or as much as they can get. Also, you know, they're going to try a 57-yarder, 60-yarder if it comes down to the last play of the game. They'll have to. And you're right. It's perfectly worked out perfectly for them so far, but the Titans still got to do it here.
Tennessee needs about 35 yards to get in suck-up field goal range. Mariota tosses one up, and it is picked off! Intercepted by Stephon Gilmore.
Gilmore was guarding the deep receiver, and they tried to get a trail receiver in behind. Gilmore fell away and sloughed off on his coverage, came back and made the play short. Got his eyes around, saw Marcus Mariota trying to hit the underneath receiver. The ball was in the air too long, and Gilmore made the play.
Marcel Darius came with the pressure, forced Mariota to toss one up. Kendall Wright was down there, but Gilmore, or actually it was Justin Hunter, but Gilmore, look at the play he makes.
I was going to Kendall Wright.
Yeah.
It was a poor decision by Marcus Mariota, but the pressure definitely impacted it. Marcus Mariota should have not have thrown that ball down the sideline soft. I think if he had no pressure on him, he would have made a different decision, thrown to another receiver. But pressure makes you do things you don't want to do.
And I'll tell you what, the Tennessee Titans right now just hanging their heads. Their defense could not be more discouraged about the performance they put up today. Was outstanding, and their offense did everything they wanted to do. The quarterback of the other team made some unbelievable plays that really gave the Buffalo Bills a chance to win this game, and Tennessee's going to leave today with a loss.
And you're very concerned about Kendall Wright. He's the one the ball was going to. He's looking back for it. You see his head gets pounded right there, and who knows? You don't want to speculate on the injury, but he's totally exposed in that situation.
Second interception of the season for Gilmore, and all Buffalo has to do is take a knee. Tennessee does not have any timeouts remaining.
Well, here's Kendall Wright in the slot. What he's going to do is just go down the sideline, and Justin Hunter here is trying to clear it all out for him. You see what the pressure does, though, to Marcus Mariota from Marcel Darius. He's got to throw the ball up down the sideline, and it allows Gilmore to come back and make that play. If Marcel Darius isn't coming free on Mariota, he can move around and find another receiver.
Rex Ryan said before the season, as the Bills fans here in Nashville are going nuts, but Rex said he expects Stephon Gilmore to make the Pro Bowl this year. And so far, through 5 games, Stephon Gilmore is playing like a Pro Bowl corner.
Yeah, and the way this game transpired, we said it turned out the way Ken Wisenhunt wanted, with Marcus Mariota with a chance to win the game. But it also turned out the way Rex Ryan wanted it. Put his defense on the field with no timeouts for their opponents, with a chance to stop them with a 1-point lead. He likes that matchup with his defense on the field.
Well, a huge win for Buffalo, but a devastating loss for the Tennessee Titans.
First time since 2008, the Bills have won their first 2 road games of the season. They improved to 3-2, and the Titans fall to 1-3. Tyrod Taylor with a gutsy effort. 76 yards rushing for Tyrod Taylor, and Stephon Gilmore, the hero in the end, with the interception of Marcus Mariota. Final score, Buffalo 14, Tennessee 13. Bonus coverage coming up of Cleveland and Baltimore. For Steve Berline and Steve Tasker, this is Andrew Catalon saying so long from Nashville. You have been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.